Mm-mm-mm. Well, my heart is open. I don't know about yours. Well, I'm glad you came. So welcome. Welcome here in the sanctuary. Welcome there on the holy interwebs. I'm glad you came. Last night we had a wonderful time, didn't we? We had fun. We laughed. And you know what they say? A church that laughs together stays together. A church that laughs together grows together. So all of that is true. Also, we were talking with Steve back there this morning, and he said I was in rare form, and I said, that's true, and I used it all up last night. And then he said that he once heard an interview with Martin Scorsese, and who was the interviewer? A priest, and Martin Scorsese asked the priest, so what do you think about my movies? And the priest said, too much Saturday night, not enough Sunday morning. So let's see where this is going, okay? Because I sure don't know. Usually, when I build my talks, I always like to use a story that kind of brings you in, and then hopefully makes you stay with me. And I didn't have a story when I was preparing, and then as luck would have it, I got a really personal one, okay? So as life would have it, I got the story. It's very personal, so I really don't want to give a talk on death and dying, because, you know, I don't want the story to come to me. Anyway, here's the personal story. We have two vehicles. Well, we had two vehicles about a week ago. I have a truck because I have a small business, and without that truck, I can't do the business. It's a small, very small renovation business, construction renovation business. So we have to have the truck. We also had a Subaru because we're lesbians. And and it was an older Subaru and not without its problems. And so we were talking that, you know, both our vehicles are really gas guzzlers. And it's time, and we've been talking for a long time, you know, we care about the environment. So I don't have any children that I know of, right? But I care about your children, and I want them to have a future on this planet. I want them to inherit the planet still. So we got the solar panels on the house. You know, we really want to walk the talk and live into these principles that we bought into. And the principles we bought into as a family is that all life matters, that we care about the environment. So we'd like to lessen our footprint on this planet. So we thought we would replace the Subaru with an electric vehicle. So my nephew and I, nephew is visiting from Hungary, wonderful time together, we went and test drove electric vehicles. And it's a shame that we're trying to save the planet, and they put such humongous price tags on these electric vehicles. I think that's a shame, and I think it's a disgrace, and I think really that's where the government should step in, but you know, that's a different soapbox for another day. And so we figured out, we looked at we crunched the numbers, and we thought, dang, that's a lot of money for a vehicle. So then we called our financial advisor, and she said, gee, do you really need two vehicles? And I was like, what? How dare? And so then the night came, and I thought, do we really need two vehicles? So we had the conversation with Patty, and we said, well, I suppose we could manage with one vehicle. It wouldn't make then sense to buy a small vehicle because there's the business. So then we would have to buy an electric truck and replace this truck. That is a nice truck, but it gets 12 miles to the gallon. It's ridiculous. So, okay, what options are out there? Well, not that many. So the only option really is the Ford Lightning. So I went to the dealership, they had one, and I test drove it, and I fell in love. And then I thought, this is the best vehicle really for anybody because it's so versatile. So remember that trucks have an engine in the front and then they have the truck bed. Well, that's not like that with the Lightning. In the front, there's no engine. So you have a hood that opens and you have a space for storage. Wonderful. Plus the bed. And I mean, the power, I fell in love. The power, the amazing. So that's the way to go. The business can still survive with the truck. And then we could use this vehicle, right, if we have to go on a trip, or have to, if we want to go on a trip. and we thought, that's great, let's do it. Went home, got the numbers. We're like, oh, that's ridiculous. That's no way. It's so expensive. I mean, it's $80,000 for a truck, you know? So it's not, no. So now, in the meantime, because we're smart people and wonderful planners, we already sold the Subaru. That's gone. We are down to one vehicle, and it gives us 12 miles to the gallon. And here are the things that we both got attached to, okay? We both really love the truck, like the way it rides, the spaciousness. It's beautiful. It looks like a spaceship inside. So it's nice. Then, of course, we also got attached to the idea that we're going to be those citizens, you know? The ones who do right by the earth, right by the future. We are the ones, the exemplary, wonderful human beings who are just gonna do everything right for this planet, you know? Like admirable people that we are. And we also were like, we're the people who like live on principle. Like we walk the talk. Like when I stand up here on this platform and I say something, there's weight behind that, you know? Because look at our choices, look at our commitments. Poof, gone. Just like that. And that brought about some feelings. That brought about, you know, that's letting go. Would you say that? That's letting go of a lot. It's letting go also, like, it's still a lot of money. Because buying gas for that truck is still a lot of money. Maybe not quite as much as buying a new one, but you know what I'm saying? So it's just hurtful on so many levels, the way that I processed, that we both processed it. Well, really because Patty lets go so easily. She said, oh, it's gone. Oh. So of course the question then is this a matter of not now, not yet, or not ever? I don't know. And that's life, right? How would you possibly know in the moment when you're going through something how it's really going to work out in the future? What does that look like? All we know for now, we are down to one vehicle. And let's not talk about the details. So today, we're talking about letting go, okay? Letting go. And it's hard to do. It's really, right? Is it just me? Like, can we relate to this? Letting go on different levels, like letting go of relationships, letting go of jobs, letting go of homes, letting go of, well, hopes. letting go of status. Yeah, it's a good one. Well, the other one is even letting go of this body. Like if we're all aging, so we're letting go of abilities. Like I could do that yesterday, and gosh darn it, not so much today. And who knows what about tomorrow? So life is about a lot of letting go. Yes? Do we agree on that? All right. So if we're going to talk about it, well, let's first talk about what letting go is not. Okay? All right. And then let's see if we can talk about what letting go is. So first we're going to go with not. What is not? Have you ever heard that saying, let go and let God? Yeah. Well, let me tell you something. If I knew how to do that, I'd have done it a long time ago. Like most certainly during tax season. Let God. I don't know what it means. It sounds good. Like it sounds really good. Heck, it even sounds spiritual, which is for our kind is like really alluring. I just don't know how to do it, and I really don't know what it means. And I really don't appreciate it when somebody gives me that platitude. So that is not. All is well. Said no one ever. When they buried a loved one, a pet, lost somebody, went through terrible, terrible illness. So letting go is not that either. And sure, maybe in the big picture, all is well, might be true, and maybe we'll find that out someday. But on Earth 1 here, what I'm going through right now, where it's like hell, it's real, and no one can relate because it's so personal, so personal. This is my personal loss. This is my personal pain. So I don't appreciate it when somebody just says, oh, gee, all is well. What else is not? It's not toxic positivity. I'm fine. Life is great. Oh, I'm a wonderful. When in fact, I'm not. And somebody should tell my face anyway, because it hasn't quite caught up to that I'm so fine. So it's not toxic positivity. It is not lying about what's really going on, right? It's not that. It's not that. So what is it? What is letting go? And now it becomes for me a lot harder to speak into this. Because I'm one of those people who, like I said, when I stand here and I say something, I prefer it if I have weight behind me. I can show you. I've done it. And this is how you can do it too. And in fact, I'm on the journey with all of us. And sometimes I can let go easier than other times. And it all depends on my level of attachment. Level of attachment. What I'm attached to, who I'm attached to, what kind of thought I'm attached to, what kind of belief system I'm attached to, what kind of image I'm attached to, and how hard I'm attached to it. And the harder I'm attached to it, the harder it is to let go, and the more I hurt. Simple equation. Attachment equals pain. Non-attachment equals tranquility. Equals peace of mind and ease of life. Now, if that's not easier said than done, I don't know what is. So we had Thursday evening. Some of you attended Thoughtful Thursday with, his name is Donald Roth, right? Rothberg. I almost got it right. Donald Rothberg. And it was such a good experience for me. So, one more thing. I'm glad you're here. And what I would like you to do is turn to the person sitting next to you or close to you and thank them for coming. And then tell them, thank you for coming. And this message is for me. Just do it. And this message is for me. So, that's right. So Donald Rothberg, this is what he said, and of course I'm paraphrasing, and so was he, and I hope I remember correctly. If I don't remember correctly, somebody please correct me. But this is what I recall. He said in Buddhism, there is this theory of the two arrows. And one arrow is the activating event. Somebody says or does something that hurts us to the core. Arrow shot, right? Oh, I'm hurting. So this causes feelings of rejection, of resentment, of pain, of anger, of disappointment, you name it, like negative, strong feelings. Somebody just did something terrible against me, against my soul. So what happens next is very, very important, because it will depend whether the second arrow will be deployed or not. So if one doesn't sit with that pain and does not process that pain and does not allow that pain, that disappointment, that rejection, it doesn't give it the life that it needs to have. If one doesn't give the space to that pain, that pain requires, then one will probably shoot the second arrow, which is, if I hurt, I'll make sure that so do you. I'll say something back that cuts you even worse. And if I don't get to say it to you, who first hurt me, then I'll make sure I'll say it to you. I'll bring it home. I'll take it out on the wife. I'll take it out on the kids, on the dog, on the cat, on whoever, on the neighbor, whoever I can. That's the second arrow. So if one does not transform the pain, then one transfers the pain. And that was also a quote from Thomas Merton, who's a Catholic monk and a spiritual thinker. So if you don't transform the pain, you transfer it. You give it to someone else. So then pain spreads. So how do you let go? Well, the interesting thing is by sitting with it. Whatever it is, just sit with it. Like allow it life. Everything has its right to life. And if you don't allow it, you'll end up hurting, and hurt people hurt people. And you can't let it go by drinking. It won't go away from you if you do drugs. Not even if you go shopping. Not even if you engage in all kinds of high adrenaline sports. Not even if you just play on whatever computer game. It's not going to solve the problem. So you can't ignore it. Because if you ignore it, it spreads. And it creates havoc. And if you don't believe it, please look at Israel and Gaza today. If that is not transferred pain, I don't know what it is. It's not transformed, is it? The whole world hurts. So we hurt small and great if we don't learn to not attach, to be open to experience life and process it as we experience it. Otherwise, we transfer it, we spread it. So now we know what letting go isn't. It's not platitudes. It's not ignoring. It's not addiction. You can't make it go away by focusing on something else, just so you don't pay attention to this. It is sitting with it. It is metabolizing it. It's taking it to, like, sit with it. Don't be scared of pain. Whether you're scared of it or not, you'll have your share of it. So might as well create a level of tolerance, and with time, maybe even comfort, to just sit with it. Here it is, my good old friend. Let me look you in the eye and see what I can learn from this. So I don't repeat it, and I don't give it. I don't give it to the next person. And then, little by little, we begin to transform our own experience. And then, little by little, that will catch on. It begins with me. So there's a song, "Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with her." Let it begin with them. No, it's let it begin with me. Let it begin with me by sitting with it, looking it in the eye, allowing it, and stopping it. Whatever it is. No attachment. No attachment to partners, cars, bodies, my goodness, age, hair, home, anything. Just let it be. And so it